shut up. Log into your account and let's run this shit up.
Episode starts now.
Welcome back, you degenerate motherfuckers. It is Shut Up and Bet with your Highness. I am the hostess with the mostest. This is episode number 11. They call me the king of the kush, the Duke of Degenerates. And that's because I'm going to be your therapist for the ACC. Edward sees 73% vape smoke, 27% unpaid labor. Folks, give it up for our main man from Minnesota, Tedward, on the ones and twos. He's waving. You can't see it. He's saying hi. All right. So a couple things. We're going to get into the ACC, and that's all cap, no cover. ACC. That's what we're going to cover. But before we do that, we've had a call that's just been sitting in our inbox for a while, and I don't want to put it off. So we have a voicemail. We have a caller. Again, if you want to get on the show, we do give away free bets for you to just to call in and leave a voicemail. We're paying you to take 2 minutes out of your day and call. Ted, you can throw this up on the screen for the folks at home, but the number they need to call at 480-269-7423. That's all off the top of my dome. He put it up there. It's in the corner. I see it. I don't know if he'll make it in there. But 480-269-7423. Number should be on the screen. If you're just listening with your eardrums, though, leave me a voice message. I keep hearing Justin. I know this one again is from Justin. He's got great questions. Justin, please keep leaving a voice message. Some of these other chuckleheads will hopefully partake. Look, Justin's got over $50. I think I've given him in free bets. I think he's only hit one of them. That's his fault, not mine. But I've given him the kid the chance and the opportunities. So, Ted, go ahead and pull the call up, and let's knock this out, and then we're diving through every single ACC football team, wins, losses, who we think's going to win, and all that fun jazz. Ted, you ready for it?
Hey, Your Highness, this is Justin, back with another question for you. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. I want to know who, in your opinion, is the worst owner in all of pro sports. My personal opinion, it's either got to be our hometown loser here in Cleveland, Jimmy Rebates Haslam, or John Fisher of the Oakland Athletics. Yes, Oakland Athletics. Either way, I want to know your opinion. Thanks.
They all suck. They would never claim Cleveland to be my home. That might be your home, Justin. That's not my home. Staked by the lake for a reason. They still should be the Cleveland Indians, in my opinion. All right, so what is my take on the worst owner in all of professional sports? And I think there's a few out there. He hit a few very key suspects. The usual suspects on the list. But you forgot, like, the Miami Marlins. Can we talk about the Miami Marlins coming to Miami? Every Hall of Fame player to come through that, they get rid of. They don't keep any of them. They take all the city and the taxpayers' money, building, embezzle it maybe a little bit. I know there's some rumors of that. Nothing good can be said about the ownership group, and no matter who the ownership group is in South Florida, I've yet to hear of anybody speak highly of any of the ownership groups in Miami. So Miami as a whole is a whole for the fucking ownership group. So that would be one. Tampa Bay's getting sold. We'll see what happens there. Other teams, I mean, he named the Oakland Athletics. I think them and Miami are pretty much hand in hand. But anytime you get where they care more about the bottom line than they care about the wins and losses, they're not ownership group anymore, so I don't know if this counts. But the guys that own the Arizona Coyotes, that was the worst. That was the absolute worst ownership group, I think. I mean, they're so bad that nobody here in the state of Arizona wanted those guys. I hate that the NHL moved out of Phoenix, that moved out of Arizona. But honestly, it's best for the NHL. Somebody hopefully will come back into the market. It's a large, large market. Location was terrible. There's just a lot of things they did wrong. And it's like they continued to keep doing things wrong. They stiffed the city of Glendale, which is where the stadium was, for millions of dollars. They stiffed the hotels when they were on the road, so much so that the hotels that the Arizona Coyotes would go play at would require a cashier's check of payment up front. So, yeah, just real pieces of shit there. So it's a great question. Unfortunately, I think the real problem isn't the ownership group and as far as the team, but how they put the product out there. And I'm talking about through all these different streaming services and things like that. I think that's where we're getting fucked as fans. Not so much on teams trying to make it or not make it, win games, not win games, because I think the bulk of teams are trying to win games in their opinion or their version of the best way to go about that. Problem I have, you got to have 4 to 7 different streaming services to watch every fucking game. I have Major League Baseball app. I'm supposed to get every market or out of market game. That doesn't even happen. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But this show is not about baseball. It's about foosball, college foosball. Bobby Boucher, he the water boy. Actually, I got a Bobby Boucher jersey, and Ted, I'm gonna send it to you. See if you can put this in the post production of Bobby Boucher. He the water boy. All right, so let's get down to brass tacks. We're gonna get into segment 1. There's not gonna be a whole lot of segments because the segments are gonna be long for this. So we're going over the Atlantic Coast Conference, and frankly, they should just drop the A. It should just be the Coast Conference. They got the East Coast, they got the West Coast. Don't get me on a tangent on how fucked up the college football geography is. We're going to go in alphabetical order. Hopefully Ted teed this up properly. If there's any mistakes in my alphabet, it's not my fault. It's Ted because he did this. I'm putting all the blame on you, Ted Word. Your fault. But we start with the letter B. And if you like big-breasted women, Boston is the place for you. Boston College, home of the Eagles. Doug played with his skin flutie. This is a boring team with a boring offense and the Eagles' boring bets, but there is money to be made. So over-under wins here for Boston College, BC, is 5.5. I went through the schedule. Dad, you can either pull up the schedule or the odds. And I have Boston College going 4-8, and that's not a sexy 4-8. They got Bill O'Brien, I think was first year last year. I thought he did a very fine job. I think they overachieved. I don't think they're going to win as many games, but I think you're going to find them in a lot of close, tight fucking battles. This is a boring team with a boring offense, but it's going to be boring bets. We're going to be taking Boston College to cover. No cap, ACC. Boston College will cover a lot, but they will not win a lot. So I will not be touching Boston College, but if you had to bet the season on Boston College, we're going under 5.5 wins. Pulling up the schedule right there, Ted does have it there on our screen. I don't remember exactly how I chopped this off, but just off the top of my dome, I think the 4 wins I gave to them were Week 1, Ford Motor Company, Ham in the Ham Hock. That should be an easy win against a small rinky-dink school. I got them beaten. UConn, I think, is another W on there as well. That was 2 of the dubs, and I got them beaten. Who the fuck else did I have? Syracuse or Georgia Tech, I think one of those teams, and I think Cal maybe. But they're going to lose to Michigan State. Maybe Stanford is who I had them beaten. They're going to lose to Pitt. They're going to lose to Clemson. Louisville, going to beat them down. The Irish and Shane Gillis, going to take them down. And let me give you a little teaser for later. Don't ever doubt them ponies. Okay. Let's move on, Ted. That's enough for Boston College. We're going to pause so he can insert the fight song for the Cal Berkeley Bears. Let me say it again. The Cal Berkeley Bears. That is the Marshawn Lynch's and the Aaron Rodgers of the world. Insert fight song. Strike up the band. Don't tell Stanford. Get them off the fucking field. We got Cal Bears. Schedule's pretty soft. Ted, if you can pull up the schedule for me while I go over this. So they got some soft teams. So we're going to be at Oregon State to start the year off. Then we're back home for Texas Southern. Those could be 2 dubs right there. Then they're going to Minnesota Golden Gophers. Nope, sorry, they're playing that one at home. San Diego State going there, so we're still on the West Coast. That should be a dub. And then they got to go all the way to the big-breasted women of Boston College. Back home for Duke. Back home for North Carolina. All the way to the East Coast for Virginia Tech. Then back to the West Coast. Then to Louisville on the East. Then back on the West Coast for Stanford, and then back to Texas. This is a lot of East Coast to back to West Coast, back to East Coast, back to West Coast travel, getting into conference play. I think they're going to limp dick their way to 500, 6-6. I think the line is 6.5. Ted, I'm sure we'll have this on the screen for you folks at home. I'm not touching this. I'm not touching the Cal Bears. It's a lot of travel. That scares me. Lean under if you have to. I don't like that, though. But let's move on. I don't want to spend too much time. Bears. Dabba-dooba-doo. Clemson U. We're going to the Tigers. Insert fight music. Here. Strike up the band. Klubnik's back and better than ever. I actually am high on, was it Caleb, I think? Caleb Klubnik. Defense is always pretty solid there in Clemson. Here's the problem. I've been saying it for years. It's catching up, and I think we're finally getting there. Dabo Swinney does not believe in this transfer portal, and I think maybe he's starting to change his ways a little bit. But he's been a homegrown, keep him in the house, don't bring any. That outside dick make these hoes sick. I believe that was a quote from Dabo Swinney back when he was a juvenile. That outside dick makes them Tigers sick. And can you pull up the schedule here for me, Ted? I think the Clemson Tigers do get to 10 wins. The line is 9.5. This is not a clean year for the Tigers. By the way, is it Tom Allen, I think, was the Indiana coach? He's going to be joining the staff, I believe, as the defensive, one of the coordinators, offensive or defensive coordinators. LSU is number 1 there. That's got to be a tough game, and they're going to be at home. Now, that's Tiger on Tiger crime. Who does Mike Tyson like? Does he pick his favorite Tiger? Tony's not available, but I got a feeling they're going to come out and lay a dud. I like LSU. Troy should be a win. Georgia Tech should be a win. Syracuse should be a win. North Carolina should be a win. State College should be a W. SMU. Well, I'm not going to spoil this, but I'm going to tell you right now. SMU. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. The Ponies are coming home. Yankee Doodle Dandy. Duke's going to be a tough game. They could win that one, but it wouldn't surprise me if they lost. Florida State should be a win. Louisville should be a win. Fordham should be a win. And then something about going to South Carolina and being a little too cocky at the end of the year. It's going to be a cockfight down there in, where are they at? Columbia, South Carolina. So somewhere in there, I think they find a loss. I think you're losing to SMU for sure. And I think you lose either of the LSU or Duke game. They don't win both those games. They could lose 3 games, but I don't like that. I think they get to 10. I think that makes Clemson playing for the ACC title game at the end of the year. But let's move on to see what we have on the docket for the rest of the league. Duke is a basketball school. But they're going to be the better football program of the basketball schools in the ACC. Duke. Let me say that with a little chest. Duke is going to be the best ACC basketball school in football. I don't love the coach. Not in love with the coach. Good defensive mind. They got the new quarterback coming in from Tulane. I like him. And actually, I like him a lot. This line's stupid. Get out your checkbook. Okay? Get out your checkbook. Write a check that my ass is going to cash for you. 6.5. They got to get to 7 wins. Pull up the schedule, Tedward. Pull up Duke's schedule. 7 wins, that's it? 7 wins. I got him at 10. I could be fucking way wrong and still win this bet. That's what I love. First game of the year. Elon. I dated that bitch in college. She ain't worth it. That's a W. Illini. They ain't fighting that hard. That's a W. Tulane. You mean the kid that's going back to play his own school? Dub. That's 3. NC State. Dub. Cuse. Dub. Cal. That one might be tough because it's on the road, but we're going to give it to him anyway. Dub. Georgia Tech. Dub. Let's say they lose to Clemson because Clemson loses to LSU, but they beat Duke. There's their first loss. See where UConn keeps popping up on everybody's schedule? That's why I mentioned. UConn, dub. Virginia, dub. North Carolina, dub. Wake Forest, dub. I might have missed a loss. They pick up a loss in there somewhere. Maybe North Carolina rivalry game gets them. Maybe Illinois early in the season. They'll have 2 losses on them. You see what I'm saying? This is so fucking easy. All right, let's just give me the guarantee. Willing to lay your life out on the line that Duke's going to win these games. Week 1, yes. Week 3, I feel pretty fucking confident. And I know Tulane's supposed to be a good team this year. I feel very fucking confident. But let's not guarantee that one. North Carolina State, yes, that's 2. Q's 3. I'm not even going to guarantee the Cal, but let's say Georgia Tech's 4. Let's say Clemson's a loss. UConn's a 5th win. Virginia's a 6th win. That means you got to beat either North Carolina or Wake Forest. You're definitely beat Wake Forest. That's 7 fucking wins. And that's losing every game I think they're probably even going to win. A couple episodes ago, Ted, we were talking about NFL futures. And I brought up this Joey Burrow touchdown future. You remember this? He's shaking his head yes. Did you make that wager yourself? He did. I did. I'm feeling a little devilish. Are you blue? Ted, are you blue? Because your balls are going to be fucking blue if you don't fucking make this bet with me. If you listen, are you listening at home, you little cocksucking piece of shit motherfuckers? Listen loud, and I'll talk quietly. Can I flex to another 10% here, Ted? That's so steep. Like, just whipping out my dick on this one, flopping it on the table and letting it get hard over the course of the season. Fuck me, Susie, and call me Shirley on a Tuesday. What the fuck is going on, Ted? All right, how much do you feel comfortable after everything I just told you? Percentage-wise of your bankroll, do you feel comfortable putting on the Duke Blue Devils to get at least 7 wins this year? By the way, what is the odds? Can we pull that up? Is it like really juicy? It's probably like minus 150 or something stupid. There's minus 160. Is there a way? This is what I might do. Pull up DraftKings for me. Can we guess, or is there an alternate? Can we go to up to like 8 wins? Because I might not bet as much if we can get to 8 wins. I feel good about 8 wins, but then I don't maybe have to risk as much because we'll get better odds. That defense is too good. 8. Okay, there we go. 8. Let's find Duke on that list. I think they get to 10, so I'm still comfortable with this. Week 1's a win. Let's say week 2's a loss. Week 3's a loss. Week 4 is going to be a win. Week 5's a win. I really think week 6 is a win. So that gives us, 4 wins so far? Georgia Tech wins 5. 6 with UConn, Virginia 7. And you just got to win one of the assets. 8. I think I feel really good. I think 5%, Ted, it's a good chunk, but it's not. We're not really flexing it out there. But to get to the 8th win, give me the plus money. And for those playing at home, if you're a $25 unit better, we're talking about putting $125 on this. So you put 125 in. I think this is a big pile of heaping shit in Florida State. Hold me up the schedule. There's no talent there. I don't think they haven't had good culture there since fucking Bobby Bowden. Jimbo Fisher let that place fucking hit the shithole. I think he was a too player-friendly coach. Was too loose on the reins, and I think that program has gotten out of control. It is not the Florida State of the 90s that I'm used to, or the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? What was that line on the Florida State? You have it easily, readily. He'll look at that. Let's go. Bama's a loss. East Texas is a win. Kent State's a win. Virginia's a win. Miami's a loss. Pittsburgh's a loss. Stanford's a win. Forest's a win. Clemson's a loss. Virginia Tech's a loss. North Carolina State's probably a loss. Florida State's a loss. Somehow I think that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they got 6 wins in there. Line 6.5. I think they're 6. This is not touching them. I think me and the books agree. The State's not the team to be messed with this year. Moving on to the Yellow Jackets. Hotlanta, Georgia Tech. Shout out to Joe Williams, if he's in the audience for this episode. He's a big ACC and Georgia Tech guy out there in Austin. I think he's still in Austin, Texas. All right, play the fight music. All right, Georgia Tech 5-7. That's what we have them on the record. I love them. I just don't think they're deep enough. I think they will pull out a few upsets this year. They're going to be live dogs. We're not taking any totals, but pull up the schedule for me. I'm going to throw out a couple key spots on the schedule where Georgia Tech could be a prime candidate for an upset. So nothing we're betting today, but something just to put it in the back of your mind for later. Maybe jot it down in your phone notes. But a couple games where I think they could win. Colorado to start the season. Again, we're looking for upsets. They could upset Duke possibly. That would kind of suck for us, but it's possible. And do not count them out against Georgia or Pitt. And I think Pitt's going to be a pretty decent year, so that would be an upset come to the end of the year. Georgia would be the real upset. Depending on where we're at, I mean, Georgia should be a good team. Georgia Tech always fights them tough. I don't know how good Georgia's offense is going to be. I haven't got into the SEC yet. But there will be at least one major upset in Georgia Tech's year. You find where it's at. It might be Duke. It might be Pitt. It might be Georgia. I don't think it's Clemson. Terrible matchup. Don't do that one. Don't do the Clemson one. Terrible matchup for Georgia Tech. Clemson does what Georgia Tech wants to do, but way better. So avoid that. Okay? And for that fact, avoid Duke as well. The only thing Duke is because it's going to be low scoring, so a freaky weird play might happen. That's why I think Georgia Tech in that game. But really, it's Georgia. Shock the world. That would be shocking. Colorado to start the year. I'm guessing Colorado's probably favored for no fucking reason. So, all right, that's Georgia Tech. I think they're going to be fun to watch again, and that maybe another team like Boston College that will keep games close, worth taking with points. Now moving on to the home of Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, the Louisville Slugger, the Louisville Cardinal. Play the fight music. All right, Louisville. They wish they were sluggers. The quarterback that I think he got drafted, Tyler Slout or whatever the fuck, and he's not even that good. And he was their stud, and that was their only hope. Schedule is not great, not bad. He pulled up there, Ted. Thank you. They got no quarterback and terrible depth. Defense is soft in the secondary, which welcome to the ACC. There's going to be teams that are going to want to chuck it up and down the field. I got Louisville going 6-6. The lines are stupid. 8.5. They are not going to even see 8. We're going to go heavy. Maybe not heavy. That's an overused word. We're definitely going to put a solid wager on the Louisville Cardinal to be under 8.5 wins. And I'll tell you why, Ted, and those listening at home. Because Eastern Kentucky and James Madison, Bowling Green are all probably wins. They're going to start off with 3 dubs. And then might lose 3 games. Now, they could beat Virginia, but they'll lose to Pitt and Miami. Boston College will be a tough game. Virginia Tech's probably a loss. Cal's probably a loss. And then they lose the last 3 games of the year. So they might even get to 6. But I don't know where they find 8 in here. Eastern, James, Bowling Green, we'll give you those. We'll give you Virginia even. So that's 4. We'll give you Cal, that's 5. And we'll even give you Kentucky, that's 6. Where are we at, folks? Where the fuck are we at? Boston College, maybe that's 7. If you ripped off all the weak opponents, you maybe get to 8 wins. There's no shot in hell they get to 9. Is it really juicy, Ted? What's the odds? It's got to be something stupid juicy. He's going to pull it up here for you, folks. 8.5 is plus money. Fuck it, Ted. Another 5%er. Another 5%. That's stupid. Absolutely ridiculous. So you're going to get $262 and some change return. So let's call it roughly $140 roughly profit. Fuck it. I like it. Moving on. Let's go. We're going on to the U. I think they're quite entertaining. Cam Ward not being there is going to fucking make a difference. Did we not know? Do you think the guy from Georgia is getting his dick sucked by some twins down in Miami is going to be your hero? I can be your hero. Is that Enrique Iglesias? I think he owns a little bit of the Miami Dolphins down there. That was relevant. I think that was Carson Beck. No, boy, no, not good. I think he's going to get exposed. He's not going to have all the talent around him down there in Florida. Coral Gables. This program's shit. They can't reload like they did in years past. They almost have to rebuild. Sad. I like when the U is fucking kicking ass and doing stupid shit, shooting up clubs and, the crazy, fighting people on the field. The typical antics of Miami, I love in college football. We need it. We need that villain. But winning will cure all. It's the best deodorant they've ever put out there. W cures everything. What's not going to cure me is the fact that 9.5 wins is the over-under. They're never going to sniff this. Never going to fucking sniff this. Let's get into the schedule. Notre Dame, that's a loss. BC, the win. That's the other BC. South Florida's probably a dub. They're going to lose to Florida. They'll probably lose to Florida State even. That's hard to say, but they'll probably lose to Florida State. Louisville win. Stanford win. SMU's probably a loss. This will be a tough game, but they'll probably sneak out a win there. North Carolina is a dub. Virginia Tech's probably a loss, and Pitt's probably a loss. I think 7-5. If they got to 8-4, okay. I don't see 9. Where we get 9? Week 2, 3, 5, 6. 8 wins, I think, is their ceiling. I'm not going to go stupid on this because maybe there's something I'm missing. Where's the odds on this one on the 9.5, Ted? Maybe this Carson Beck, I had a bad read on him. Maybe I'm wrong on him. I doubt it. I think that's real juicy. So I'm not, if you want to sprinkle, don't go crazy, but fade the U this year. NC State, the Wolfpack, the Russell Wilsons. That's right. Everybody said Wisconsin. He played Wisconsin one year. He grew up a Wolfpack guy. North Carolina State. Played the 5 years. So North Carolina State got this kid coming in from Kentucky. Play quarterback, and I'm telling you right now, did you watch Kentucky's offense last year? That's what we're getting excited about. Give me a fucking break. Defense should be decent. That's the only thing that's going to keep them in games is hopefully they keep the score relatively close. I think the line they have at 6.5, Ted, I have them winning 4 games. Not a lot. If you pull up the schedule here, we'll take a quick look at it. But if I remember correctly, the schedule is not super favorable. East Carolina is going to be a tough game for them. They should win that game. Virginia Tech probably is a win. Wake Forest is probably a win. They'll lose at Duke. They'll lose Virginia Tech. Campbell's win. Notre Dame's a loss. Pitt's a loss. Georgia Tech, flip a fucking coin. Miami, flip a fucking coin. They'll probably lose the last 2 games as well. I don't see it, Ted. I don't see 5 wins even. This is another one where I'm not going to get super excited on anything. Minus 150 for North Carolina State, plus under and Miami. Yes. So if we can parlay both those, I don't think they'll let you do it. But if you can parlay both those, maybe you do a little sprinkle. Both those teams go under. Because if I see, this is what you're going to find out, folks, is either I'm fucking spot on or I'm way off. Because if I'm predicting the wins this way and the losses this way, if I'm right, then that means everybody else has to fall in line like dominoes. And we ain't talking pizza. And what I'm saying is, if I'm saying this team's beating this team in week 4, and that's how I calculate everything, if that's true, then everything else falls in line. If I'm right about 3 or 4 teams in the ACC, I'm right about all the teams. That's how that works, because the way I'm planning out the schedule, basing wins and losses, if I'm right about SMU, Duke, Syracuse, Clemson, and North Carolina, I got the rest of the league right. Pretty sure, pretty much. So sprinkle a little bit on Miami, North Carolina. Don't get carried away or nothing, but do it. Do it. Tar Heels, drama capital of the fucking college football universe. North Carolina Tar Heels. Bill Belichick and some girl that we shouldn't even know about running the show in Chapel Hill. Strike up the band, Tedward. Give me that fight music, baby. So you got the old man Belichick coming in, and he's bringing his. Honestly, the girl's old enough to probably be dating some of the players on that team. She's mid-20s. We shouldn't have to know about her or care about her, but somehow she's heavily involved. But I still haven't figured out why. I think drama alone is going to cause havoc, cause issues. Players are going to have reasons to point fingers, issues in the media. They have a ton of transfers, a lot of kids that have never played together. Do I hate Bill Belichick? No. Do I like him? Do I think he's going to be like the savior? No, I don't think he's that great of a coach. How many Super Bowls does he win without Tom Brady? Ted, don't fall asleep. I'm going to ask you a question. You ready? How many Super Bowls has Bill Belichick won without Tom Brady as a quarterback? As a goose egg, 0. He wasn't a good coach in Cleveland. He was there in these other places. Right place, right time, right system for the right quarterback. Tom Brady. How many Super Bowls did Tom Brady win without Belichick? I'll hold it up for you. Yeah, that's one I was talking about. Tampa Bay. So Belichick's not the answer. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. I think they get to 8 wins. The over-under 7.5. Line's pretty good. I'm not touching this. Pull up the schedule real quick. I don't think Bill Belichick lasts more than 2 years in North Carolina. Let's put that. I think the record's going to be shit, and with all the bullshit and drama, they're not going to want to deal with both. TCU could be a loss. Charlotte's a win. Richmond's a win. UCF probably a win. Clemson's a loss, and Duke is a loss. So there are 4 losses, 8 and 4. So he probably goes over on wins, but that's just because it's a bad line. 8.5 should be the proper line, I think, in my opinion, on this one. All right, let's move it on. We only have a couple teams left, if I'm correct, Ed. We have Pitt. I'm probably higher on Pitt than most. And I think they're going to win a lot of ugly games. I think they're going to be slight dogs in a lot of games. I think the over-under, I'm pretty sure the over-under line is 6.5. I have them getting to 9. And they're going to be one of those teams end of the season with like 7 or 8 wins going, how the fuck are these guys like in the conversation even for the ACC championship game? But they'll be there. Pull up the schedule for me if you would. If I remember correctly, the schedule's pretty easy. And I think the tougher games they have, they match up incredibly well. I like the coaching staff there. They got a lot of just glue guys, a lot of guys to just keep the program together. Not a ton of superstars, but a lot of really good talent. Look at this easy schedule. They could start, I fucking kid you not, they could be going undefeated into Florida State. W. Florida State could even be a W. Syracuse could be a W. NC State could be a W. State. Look, it's probably not going to happen, but it also would not shock me if Pitt and Notre Dame were both undefeated heading into November 15th, and that was some big marquee fucking game. Now, I said 9 wins, which means there's 3 losses in here is what I'm saying. So I say Notre Dame beats them. That's 1 loss. They probably lose something stupid to Miami in the end, so that's like 2 losses. And let's say they lose to Florida State. That's their 3 losses. This is an easy over. Again, 2-0 right off the rip. That means we got to get 6 wins in the last 10 games of the year. They got to go 6-4, right? And I don't think West Virginia, Louisville, Boston College are that great. Neither do Florida State or Syracuse or North Carolina State or Stanford. Any of these teams are very good. Notre Dame, West Virginia, meh, not really. Florida State, There's only one team on here I'm really afraid of. I know they'll pick up some losses in there. This should be an easy over. 7 wins? Is it really juiced, Ted? What? Fuck me, surely. Let's do it. Another 5%. Fucking all these 5%, they're going to call me Nickelback or something. All right, let's move on to the next team. And this is the team that got my dick hard. Okay, let's just put it that way. Fucking hung like a horse cock, if you know what I'm saying. Pony up, bitches. SMU, Southern Methodist University. They were good last year, and I think they're only getting better. Their offense might be unstoppable, Pony Express version 2. And 12-0. 12-0. Pull up the schedule for me. We're going to bet them to win the ACC as well. I think SMU versus Clemson, like 35-27, SMU wins the ACC. I'm calling that now. They don't even sniff a fucking loss until they face Clemson. That'll be the first real game. They got to go to Clemson. If they beat Clemson, they're not losing. I mean, they can still lose the Clemson game and still go on it. You see what I'm saying? There's not a team on this fucking schedule I'm afraid they're going to lose to, except for Clemson is the only one that gives me pause. What is the win-loss for them on the year? I don't think it was up last time I checked. 8.5, and how juicy is that? All of your money. All of your fucking money. What? They got to get to 9. All right, let's count 9 wins together, Ted. Ready? East Texas A&M. That's a win. Baylor. That's a win. Missouri State. That's a win. Let's say they lose to TCU. Okay, fine. We're still at 3. Syracuse is a win. Stanford's a win. That's 5. They lose to Clemson. Okay. They beat Wake Forest. That's 6. They lose to Miami. How many wins they got to get to again, Ted? 7? So they got to get to 9. All right. Where did I count at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they got 6 wins. So Boston College, Louisville. I mean, all right. Maybe now don't bet all your money. But we're going to put a big bet on this. I don't think TCU is going to be that good this year. Clemson worries me. He's not going to win. They don't have the fucking defense to stop him. The problem is a lot of these teams don't have the fucking defense to stop SMU. They don't. The only team on this schedule that I'm looking at, the only 2 teams on the schedule I'm looking at that would have the defensive prowess to even fucking compete against SMU is Clemson and Boston. So let's say they lose to Boston College and Wake Forest. And somehow in there between, TCU or somewhere else they lose the next week. They're still getting that 9 wins. Fuck it. They're a 12-win team, folks. What are we talking about? They're not losing a single game. Clemson would be the only game they could possibly lose. That's 11-1. That's still better than the 10-2 record we have for Clemson. Except for, I guess I would change Clemson to 11-2. Either way, those 2 are playing for the ACC championship game. We have over 8.5. I like that. Maybe not all of your money. Let's just do another. We're doing 5%. It's just a 5% day. Another 5% on over 8.5 for SMU. For them to win, so if you're like a $20 bettor, throw $10 on there. If you're a $25 bettor, throw like $12 on there. If you're a $100 bettor, $50. I wouldn't bet a ton. 10-win season. I think however much you bet on them to go undefeated, I'd also make that same bet on that amount. Whatever that amount is, I'd make that same amount bet on the 10-win season. And to win the ACC championship game, we're going heavy on the ponies. Like we're at the fucking Belmont Stakes or something like that. We're fucking giddy up. We're going to be jockeys overnight. All right, let's move on to Stanford. They're the tree. And make like a tree and leave. 4-8 is what I have them. They have a ton of losses through the portal. Like literally like everybody. They might throw in an upset maybe in there just because I think so many people are going to be down on them. The over-line's stupid. I think it's 3.5. I have them actually getting to 4 wins, but look, if they ended up with 3 wins, you're not going to surprise me. I'm not going to spend any time on these boys. This is a big conference, a lot of teams. Let's just keep it moving. Stanford is basically going to be just the punching bag of the ACC. Let's move on. We're going to go to the Qs. I think Fran Brown is still the coach. he was from a smaller school, did really well, and then he's done pretty well. Tends to be more defensive minded. Quarterback, they still don't know. What was it last year? They had the kid from Ohio State transferred there. I don't think he's there anymore. I didn't put a ton of time going through the whole roster of Syracuse, to be honest with you. But it's pretty much a rebuild. Again, not a lot of talent drawn from previous year. 5.5 is over under, and I think 4 is all they're getting. So lean under, but again, they're going to be more like Syracuse, or like Stanford and Syracuse are going to be similar. It's the East Coast and West Coast punching bag teams. The Cavaliers of Virginia. Basketball school that plays football occasionally. I think they're going to be sneaky good. I think they're going to be the team that people kind of think is an easy W on their schedule. Pull up their schedule. I think it's pretty soft. Their quarterback and wide receiver plays decent. I think they make a bowl game. I think they will be bowl eligible, probably in like the Bahamas Bowl or something stupid like that. But over 5.5, I see them getting a 7. Coastal Carolina, North Carolina State, William & Mary, Stanford, all should be wins. Oval, and then one other one in there. Easy. So, I mean, it's 6-7 wins easy. Florida State could be a challenge. Washington State could be a challenge. North Carolina, Duke could be a challenge. But do you see Clemson on the schedule? Because I don't. Do you see SMU on the schedule? Because I don't. Do you see, I guess Duke's on there. So, basically, the top 3 teams I project in the ACC are, in no particular order, SMU, I guess in kind of some order. SMU, Clemson, and Duke are my top 3 teams. Virginia's only got to face one of those teams. So I think the schedule is pretty fucking easy for them, and it's going to allow them to get to at least 6 wins. I would sprinkle a 1 or 2% bet on over 5.5. What is the line, though, Ted, before I even speak out of pocket? Plus what? Plus money? Easy. 2 or 3%. Let's move on to hokey high Virginia Tech. I think they're the worst Virginia team. I think the Virginia Cavaliers are going to be better than the Virginia Hokies. And it's been a long time since that's happened, so that is kind of a bold prediction. They have the line at 6.5. I have them at 6. I think it's spot on. I think they sneak in backdoor into a bowl game. Pull up the schedule for me. I think the offensive coordinator is going to bring a little bit more off-tempo offense. Against certain teams in the ACC, that should help them. But overall, the ACC does have some good defensive-based teams, and they will get routed by them. South Carolina, Vanderbilt, or losses. This is where they get stupid wins. Old D, that's what your girlfriend calls me. Wolford, I mean, those should obviously wins. North Carolina State, Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, Cal, Louisville. I mean, the rest of the schedule are just a blunt teams. That's the only reason they probably get to 6. If they had to play any good fucking teams, they'd get annihilated. There is no Duke. There is no Clemson. There is no SMU on their schedule. Those are the 3 best teams, in my opinion, in the ACC. Sportsbooks think Miami is up there. They only have to face Miami. So whoever's opinion you take, this is a soft fucking schedule, and I still think they only get to 6. I'm not telling you to bet the under, but definitely don't bet the over. They're not. 7 would shock me. I'd be less surprised if they completely missed a bowl game. That would be less surprising. I try to keep these episodes to an hour or less. We are literally right up against the hour. I'm going to make Ed probably tighten this bitch up like that fucking pussy he wish he could fucking put his dick in. But last team in the ACC is Wake Forest, and I believe they're the Demon Deacons. Shout out to my Norman Chad fans out there. Rosters, you won't recognize it. If you're a Wake Forest fan, you won't even recognize nothing. This is going to be a bad. Is this thing broken? Bad fucking year for Wake Forest. Okay? Let me see the schedule, Ted. But if they get to 3 or 4 wins, that's a good year. We're not touching this. But this is more just for entertainment. Look, because they got some bullshit teams on the fucking Kennesaw State and Western Carolina. Give me a fucking break. College football will become a better sport when we get these fucking games off the fucking schedules. And they got Delaware down there. By the way, can I shit on fucking Delaware for a second? Get your own fucking helmets. You don't know what I'm talking about? Go look up Delaware. They're now a bowl-eligible team, I believe. Go look up their fucking helmets. Go look them up. Ted, do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, fucking cocksucking. You're not with the big boys. Go look. The winged helmet is a sacred helmet in the state of Michigan, especially in Ann Arbor, and in college football. Okay, I guarantee at some point this year, somebody's going to be watching a college football game, half paying attention at a sports bar, look up, see Delaware playing a bigger school, like, because they're going to be a little shit. And somebody's going to go, oh, I didn't know fucking Michigan was playing XYZ, and they weren't. And get a new fucking helmet. I'm calling my shot right now. You're going to be somewhere in public with people watching the game, and Delaware is going to be playing Colorado in September 6th. This is exactly what's going to fucking happen. Because people are going to tune in. It's going to be on Fox. It's going to be an afternoon game. People are going to be watching. It's September 6th, early in the college football. People are still excited. Colorado Buffs are taking on the Delaware. What are they? The bird pigeons or something stupid? They got a stupid. They're blue hens. Give me a break. Fucking blue ball hen, bitch. Get back in the kitchen and suck my dick, okay? We got a petition. Make them change the fucking helmets in Delaware, you little fucks. It was fine when you were the little leagues, but now you're playing with the big boys. You got to get in line, get it right, get it tight, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. By the way, I think that's where Joe Flacco went to school, by the way. Shout out to Joe Flacco. Now, if you want to question me, I did this without even double checking, but I ran it through ChatGPT, and they said, Mr. Patrick, we took all the ACC teams, we took all your projections for the ACC teams, and it came out that the records equated to 96 and 96, and even 50 record winning. I fucking did this shit right. Okay, so more than likely we're gonna be spot on this year. You're gonna make a lot of motherfucking money in college football. This will be the third year I've done this for you, the peoples. But for those that have known me personally, I've been posting college football and NFL on Facebook for free for over a decade, probably over 20 years. And when the memories pop up, I'll share it so you can see. But for every single year I've posted, and I'm posting a ton of fucking plays, I always land right in that fucking like 61 to 63% win rate every fucking college football season. That's it, folks. You're either going to get with me or get on me, but I'm getting off in who's going to catch my nut. You see what I'm saying? That got really gay really quick, and I don't know why Ted's got a smile. Huh? Closet gauge. Closet gauge. By the way, if you were part of the gay community, what do you know the different? I'm not great with this, but I'm gonna act like I know what I'm talking about. A bear, I think that's what the gays would categorize you as, a bear. Do you know about this, Ted? You're a bear. He works at a gay bar. He should know these things. The teddy bear, Ted, it would be a bear in the gay community. He's already pissed. See, this is the problem. You can't hear him, but he's yelling in my ear, and I'm trying to focus, Ted. Okay, I'm making jokes on you. Just take it like a slut, okay? All right, so here's the teams I love in the ACC. All cap, no covered league. That's what we're talking about. Clemson, because they're reliable. Abo will get his team. They're not the Clemson teams of 10 years ago. But they don't lose to bad teams. They just don't beat good teams. So I think them losing the ACC championship, maybe sneaking in as an at-large team or something like that for the playoffs. But take me out to the races. We're betting ponies and we're betting them hard. That number 7 horse, she's a beaut. Down there, you're flying to Dallas-Fort Worth International to get that SMU. It's somewhere. Maybe Love Field. Maybe you can get there from Love Field as well. That's another airport in Dallas. If you know, you know. Anyways, Clemson, old reliable, they'll be there in the mix. SMU, new kids on the block, sucked a lot of dick. Chinese food makes me sick. What song is that from, Ted? Yeah, Summer Girls. I hope you can splice that in. Don't get us copyright infringed, but splice the for the peoples at home that might not know what I'm talking about. That was a great song from about 20 years ago. SMU, new kids on the block. They're running scores up on people. They are running scores up. It is out of the gates, out of the blocks, running. We got 3 furlong race. You know, this is a sprint. Pony up, bitches. Let's get in where we fit in. Oh, yeah, and then we got to do the religious school. So no blasphemy, but goddamn, Pony's going to be good this year. And then Duke. If anything, it's a smart play. But I think they're a very solid defense. And I just really, really like this kid from the Green Wave. What the fuck? Tulane, thank you. Tulane, sorry. The Green Wave, they're down in New Orleans. Tulane, couldn't think of school. That kid's coming into Duke, and I think I like him a lot. I think he's going to help them get over the edge. It helps a really great defensive team become a really great team. 10 wins, 9 for sure. Teams I hate. The public loves them. So naturally, I'm not going to like them, but it's all about the U. And we're going to do this, and the Utah bomb is where they're going. Overhyped. There is no Cam Ward. Cam Ward was that team. Do we not forget how many games they should have lost, but Cam Ward come roaring back, save their life. How many comeback great wins? Do you remember all those great, like, wasn't it Louisville, one of the games where they were dead to rights and they come roaring back? Cam Ward. Cam Ward is a Titan or something, right? Isn't he with Tennessee or something now? Who do you get drafted by, Ted? Tennessee Titans, yeah. So, no Cam Ward, folks. Who's slinging a rock? By the rock, I think he did play there. They're going to call him Papa Frauds down there. They're shit. They're absolute shit. I mean, that wannabe quarterback that got drafted. By the way, I think he got drafted ahead of Sanders, which is embarrassing in itself. But was not very good. He was a viable college quarterback. Who's replacing him? You've never heard of the kid. Me neither. Coaching is questionable. I know he's a local guy. They love him there. They might give him a longer leash. He's going to end up just hanging himself with them. He will not see the end of his contract in Louisville. I'll make a bold statement right there. And then, the Tomahawks down there in Tallahassee. It's a lot of hype train. It's a lot of hype train in Tallahassee. I don't see where the W's are coming from. I think the coaching staff is terrible. Terrible. They had the one good year where the kid got hurt. Who was the kid? Travis. Thank you, Jordan Travis. Jordan Travis was kind of the Cam Ward of Florida State. Year difference, if that kind of makes, you can make that. So, you know how Florida State really fell off? Miami this year. On. Just put that in your, if you ever listen to me on anything, fade fucking Miami this year. Would they have the 9.5? Was that the number, Ted? I think they have them like as a second favorite in the ACC. There's no way. This is not a top 4 team in the ACC, folks. Early and often, be the one to get out ahead of this. Start taking dogs against the U early in the season. Those are the teams I hate. Now, I've kind of already said it, but let's just solidify in case you're whipping through this episode. I have SMU going undefeated and winning the ACC championship game against Clemson, a 2-loss Clemson team. And I believe the final score of that championship game is going to be somewhere right around 35 points for the Ponies of Southern Methodist University and somewhere around 27 points for the Tigers of Clemson. They're playing in Charlotte, I believe, where the Panthers play. Should be a home orange crowd for the Tigers. But fret not, SMU was in a similar situation yesterday. Guys, we're going to tighten this up, leave it with the bow, send you on your way. We're coming back. We got a fight night on UFC. We're coming back with Mark G and UFC. Eventually, we'll get one of our other UFC handicappers on here, James, Mr. Yes. We'll get him on here. Maybe we can reel back an oldie, one of the old Trace Pendejos, Carlos. James has been fucking killing UFC. He's made over 80 fucking units the last 2 weeks. It's ungodly. His only fuck up was listening to me last week and taking Kevin Holland. Otherwise, he was kicking ass and taking names. Again, the Kevin Holland thing, I don't run from the losses. Big losses like that are so far and few between, but that one fucking stung. This is a Tuesday we're recording. That fight was Saturday. My butthole still hurts when I sit down. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with one final message. College football is right here, folks. You do not know football. They're going to fucking hate this. That you watch it, you think you know it, you don't. Too many people think they know football. They don't look at the numbers. There's a reason every single fucking year we pick so many great underdogs is because I don't even trust my own eyes, folks. But you know what I do? I go through every fucking number. I can tell you to within the 10th of a yard exactly what output each offensive line and everything. The numbers don't lie, your eyes do. The only time the numbers lie to you is if you're not looking at it from a large enough perspective. Sometimes your lens is too tight. Zoom that bitch out, and the numbers never lie. Folks, until next time, get in where you fit in, and we are fucking all the bitches. Peace!